What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be on anticipation, and this is basically going to help you see a setup before it happens, so when it does happen you're ready to enter and you don't miss your entry. So let's just get into it. So the first thing we're going to notice on this example is that we have a fair value gap right here, right? So when you see this fair value gap, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look to see if we have a liquidity sweep right here. Boom, we have a liquidity sweep. We also have delivery from this 1 minute right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to anticipate a short here, right? I'm going to anticipate that we can get a short here. If we inverse this, I'm going to enter into a short. That is the whole idea of anticipation, because if you see here, right, if you're just like trading, right, and then right here you're like, oh, this is an inverse fair value gap, let me check if we have a liquidity sweep, right? By the time you do all that, the trade will already be playing out. So what you're going to want to do is right here, when you see this fair value gap, you're going to draw this out, and then you're going to look, do we have a liquidity sweep? Yes. Do we have delivery from something? Yes, right here, right? So you're going to draw all that out beforehand. Now if we get an inverse, I'll take a short. If we don't get an inverse, no trade, right? So I'll draw this out right here. Let's say we put 100 ticks. This is full TP. Break even here. Full TP here. You could do partial here if you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this paper trading on the trading view, so you guys really understand how I do this. So if I'm on here and I see 100 ticks right here, you can see this is the ticks and these are points. So it's 25 points, 100 ticks. So for the stop loss, I'll put 100 for the ticks, right? And then for, you don't really need to put the TP, but this is just so you calculate your risk. This is how I calculate my risk when I'm doing it. So if I want to risk 1,000, I'll put in 1,000. I'll put in 1,000, and it'll automatically put 2 contracts, right? It'll like, and right here you can see it's risking 1,000. And if I wanted to risk 2,000, I would just type in 2,000. It'll automatically put it to 4 contracts, right? So that's how I would use the trading view calculator, just if you guys are wondering. But I'll put this in here. I'll get my my thing right here ready, and then when we get an inverse right here, what I do is I would sell with my stop loss 100 ticks, risking 1,000 if I want to risk 1,000, and I'll automatically put 2 contracts. Then boom, you click sell, right? I'll do it on the replay mode. Sell 2 contracts, right? Full TP here, stop loss, a close above, and right here, stop loss at break even, and then stopped at break even, right? So this could have been a not full TP, but you could have done a partial here if you wanted to. But you can see that's how you would have anticipated this trade. And I personally, the way I would have done this, if I was taking this trade, I would have done 2, not 4. I would have done 2 right there. Let me close that out. 2, full TP here. Right here, when we hit this, what is the risk to reward on that? I wouldn't have taken any there, but I would have taken 1 contract at around 1 risk reward. So right here, I would have taken 1. So I would have closed 1, stop at break even, and then full TP up here. And if you want to hold, you can, but after we made this high or this low, I would have set my TP there, and then that would have hit. But that's all up to if you want to hold it all the way to here, or if you just want to take it for a 2.3. That's however you want to manage it. But as long as you move your stop to break even here, this would not have been a losing trade. So that's the main thing I wanted to explain here, was the anticipation on taking this setup right here. And I'm about to get into the next example. Now on this second example, we have a bearish fair value gap here. And if we look, we have a liquidity sweep of this obvious liquidity here. We also have this other liquidity right here, a liquidity sweep, right? So I will now be anticipating to get a long, right? Can put out 60 ticks. If For the stop loss, we can do first TP here for a pretty much one risk reward, break even right here. And I'll do a full TP at, for example, let's do 2, right? Full TP up here, right? And let's see, we put in 60 ticks, right? For the stop loss, we put in, we want to risk 1,000, and boom, right here, it gives us 3 contracts automatically. And this is, if we get an inverse here, I will be taking it long. I'm anticipating that we will get an inverse here. If we don't take a trade, right? But if we do get an inverse, then we take a long. Let's see what happens. Price seems to be coming back up. Again, it's coming back up. And then, boom, no inverse there. So, no trade. Now, what do we see here? We have another liquidity sweep. So, let's see if we get a fair value gap. Boom, we have a fair value gap here. Now, what could I be anticipating? I could be anticipating a long right here, right? You could put again, you could put 60, 55. I'd probably put 60, right? So we could do full TP here for about a 1.5, right? Break even at first internal, right? So you could do it like this. You could put a full TP like higher if you want, look to the left. But you could do it like this, right? I wouldn't do a first TP right here because this is very close. That wouldn't be much profit. It wouldn't really be worth it. I'd rather just go break even, right? So now let's see if we get it. Now, do I like this? No. I know we do get an inverse here, but I would not take this, right? So if we look at this price action, this is very choppy. I talk about this a lot. You want good momentum going into it. You want it to be like inverse really quickly. If it's going to inverse, you want it to inverse. This, very choppy, so I would not enter here. Again, one of the rules that I have in my Discord, there's a page with some rules on it. I don't take anything that has choppy price action. Choppy price action is very bad. And as you can see, you get stopped out right here. And the move ends up going in the right direction. But as you can see, you get chopped out. This is why I don't use choppy price action. But this is not the main thing I'm trying to show. I'm trying to show the anticipation, right? Right about here, I would realize I'm not taking this trade. This just doesn't look smart to take, right? Price action is just choppy. So now I would no longer be anticipating that trade. That trade just doesn't look good to me, right? But the main thing I'm trying to show is how we anticipated this first trade, right? And we didn't get the inverse. So we didn't take it, right? And then we got this new fair value gap down here. We started anticipating this. And then we ended up not taking it because price action just doesn't look good here, right? So that's the main thing I'm trying to show is before the inverse fair value gap happens, you need to be looking at it and seeing, like, you need to be figuring out everything beforehand. So that way when the inverse does happen, you don't miss your entry. Because when you miss your entry, you get a bad entry, bad fill. You could get stopped out and lose more than you want to lose. You could get a bad entry and lose out on profits. A lot of things, right? You could stop that break even early because your entry was so high and it comes back to your break even because your break even is a lot higher than other people's. So there's a lot of things. You just want to be paying attention beforehand and know you're going to enter the trade if you get the inverse before the inverse is even there, right? You want to be paying attention beforehand. I hope this video helped, and I hope you guys understand that anticipation is very important. You need to be paying attention before the setup is even there. You need to be seeing that there's a fair value gap. Look for some delivery, look for a liquidity sweep, look for SMTs, anything like that. Be paying attention the whole time. Make sure you know you're going to take a setup before it's even there. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you guys join the Discord if you want. Check out my other social medias if you want. I don't really care. Just join the Discord. I'll see you guys later.